Hello, good afternoon from Tallinn. It's nice to see you all here. We're going to have e-Residency live Q&A about grants and support measures in Estonia starting soon. We let people to gather a few minutes. In the meantime, you are welcome to write to chat. Where are you joining us right now? From which country or which city? What's the time? How are you feeling? Whatever you want to share with us. And in a minute or two, we are going to start with our very interesting but very intense webinar. So my name is Raimo. I'm the head of partnerships in e-Residency team.
Hello, my name is Christina and I'm responsible for France and French-speaking countries. And I was happy to join the team in March this year.
We are happy to have you. And we have many lovely guests today talking about grants and support options in Estonia and in the EU as well. A few organizational comments for you. First of all, today you have opportunity to ask questions from the panelists. For that, please do use Q&A tab. We take only questions through the Q&A tab. So if you have any more specific question that you need to be answered, then please feel free to do that. Chat is for chatting and then sharing if you would like to share something. Also, if there are any social media groups, subgroups, WhatsApp groups shared in the chat, then just please be aware that they are not officially run and curated by e-Residency team. So you're welcome to join if you want to, but just keep in mind that they are independent channels where e-Residency is not responsible for the content available there. But now, without further ado, I think we are almost ready to start with the content. Just a second. So yes, we are happy to start. So yes, who do we have here today? We have Rando Mets from Enterprise Estonia. He is going to talk about Estonian grant options provided by Enterprise Estonia. Then Rosen Dimov, he is here as an e-resident and the founder and the consultant who helps companies to grow. Then we have Alan, who is the founder of easy.de, which is a AI supported tool for matching companies and the grant options. And Sandra, also from Estonian Enterprise Estonia, who is going to give you a short overview of Horizon grants and some other support options that are available throughout the European Union. So just a few comments. If you joined today to get to know about the basics of e-Residency, then our webinar today is not the traditional regular webinar, but is focusing on grants and support measures available for e-resident companies. So if you would like to get the basic information, then please do see the recording in our YouTube about e-Residency and Estonia company formation that took place in April. Or if you are running or starting a startup, then check out our startup growth webinar. And the next webinars are coming up in June and July. In June, we're going to have the e-Residency basics in German language, and in July, again, the general one. Or visit our website and check out the most important information from there. However, we still have a couple of slides for you.
Okay, so hello once again from my side. As I said, maybe some people who are joining, I can see the chat is pretty active. So I'm responsible for France and French-speaking countries at e-Residency. So I would be delighted to meet with French-speaking people here. I can see some of them have joined, but don't get me wrong, I would be more than happy to support you also when you are, if you are an aspiring e-resident from any other country. So we will be really focusing on grants and funding opportunities, but we will just tell you a few words from our side about e-residency, and it will be the very basic level. So don't hesitate to reach out to me afterwards if you want to discuss some very specific topics. So what is e-residency? I guess most of you know it. But if ever you are still wondering about the benefits, then, well, basically the e-residency, it's a government-issued digital ID that gives you secure access to Estonian e-services. So that will allow you to start your EU business and manage it thanks to those e-services. You can do it 100% online, and you don't have to come to Estonia unless you want, because you have no papers to sign physically. So basically, you can concentrate on your core business and don't waste time and money dealing with bureaucracy. E-residency also, it's basically your digital key that gives you the access to our digital environment and EU business environment. You can also digitally sign documents with the Estonian e-signature, which is actually the strongest one, which has the strongest security standard in Europe, so which is called e-IDAS. And last but not least, you have the opportunity to join a community of like-minded e-residents. And actually today we have 120,000 e-residents already in our community, coming from more than 170 countries. So it's a great place to create synergies, to exchange, and actually it also creates opportunities for you. So you may wonder now why to register your company in Estonia. Well, if basically I would say that if you are an entrepreneur with international ambition, then Estonia is really an excellent platform for you to do business from. You first of all, if we ask our e-residents what are their motivations, then one thing that really comes up is the ease of doing business. We have the Estonian e-services are very easy and very user-friendly to use. Myself, I have a small consultancy business that I started 4 years ago. And basically, I had my first customer, but I didn't have any company registered. So I had to do it super quickly. And the most of the time I spent it on thinking about what should be my company's name, actually.
That takes always the most.
That takes the most of the time. And then to register it online, it took me, I'm a slow person, so it took me 2 hours, basically. And the admin work is really, really very light. You can do business in this very secure digital environment, and basically you incorporate your company in EU in a trusted environment in Estonia. It also gives you a lot of opportunities. We will talk about them later on during this webinar. But maybe one thing that is really important is that we have a very dynamic startup scene, but it's also very compact. And the business angels and VCs are easy to access. And actually, the Estonian business angel ecosystem is very much linked and connected with the Nordic one. So that's, once again, an extra opportunity, actually, for you as an e-resident. And the community has become more and more important, actually, those days. I could see that we have some people participating to this webinar who participated last week to our e-residence study trip, which was a really successful one and organized by our team lead Ülane and Raimo. So we had more than 60 e-residents participating, and I think it was a great moment of sharing experiences, synergies, and so on. And we also have other ways to connect with other e-residents. You can check it out on our website. Now, specifically concerning grants and funding, you may ask yourself where you find information about those funding opportunities. So the first place you could check out is our website, because we have a dedicated section for fundings and grants. And I think we can proudly say that probably we have one of the most comprehensive English resource or source of information about fundings. So feel free to browse it. And also, there are actually 70 entrepreneurship programs listed on this specific section of our webpage.
Yeah, in addition to grants, also accelerators and some funds as well.
And then feel free also to check out our marketplace, because we have, as you may know, more than 150 service providers on our marketplace. And then if you are an e-resident already, and if you are working already with a service provider, then we would actually recommend you to directly talk to your service provider in order to have a more personalized advice.
Exactly. But now let's dig into the specifics of what is actually available, what are the rules, how to approach to the question of grants in general. So Rando, stage is yours. Rando is from Enterprise Estonia and knows quite a lot about grants available here.
So, thank you, Raimo and Christina. I think you can hear me, you can see my slide also.
Can you please share your slides? Currently, I believe it's something else.
So now you should see my PowerPoint slides. So it's really nice to see that there are a lot of people here all over the world. Impressive. Welcome. And a couple of words about me. My name is Rando. As you can see, I'm a really big fan of grants and services. I do everything to help companies to grow, to conquer the world. And I'm here as a key account manager, so I advise companies and how to navigate in those grants and services world. So a couple of words about Enterprise Estonia's options, possibilities, solutions, what we offer for companies. So here are the 4 main topics or keywords, what we really love. And as you see that our biggest aim is to support you, to support companies, entrepreneurship. And we have designed a lot of different services, grants, funding solutions for companies to grow in every stage they are, from a startup to big companies. And all our services and grants are designed based on those four topics: innovation, export, digitalization, and sustainability. And a couple of words about our services, maybe. Actually, we are saying here in Enterprise Estonia that before applying any funding or grant, you should actually know what you are doing. You have to know what is your investment plan. So it means that before applying any grant, you should share, or you should get some kind of wisdom from our side or from our network here in Estonia. So to boost your knowledge and network, we have developed several services for that. For example, all kind of master classes, for example, innovation master classes, digitalization, product development master classes. In those master classes, we provide you a personal mentor, and we share all kind of theoretical wisdom and practical knowledge. So these are really useful master classes. And of course, we have several advisors in Enterprise Estonia. Mainly they're expert advisors, but not only expert advisors. We have also intellectual property advisors. As you know, if you're dealing with high-tech innovative technology, there's always a question regarding intellectual property. We can advise you for free, whether it's an export-related topic or intellectual property, or you want to know about your sector technology trends, technology intelligence service. We have those services up to 5 hours for free for the companies that are registered in Estonia. And whatever questions you have regarding research and development topics, that's also our topic. We can share all the network, all the know-how, and how to choose the best partner for R&D activities. So all the knowledge and network related topics you have, we can help you. We have several services. And as I mentioned before going to the grants, those knowledge and network topics should be covered. And a couple of words about our funding and grants also. Here in Enterprise Estonia, we have actively about 50 grants available. And of course, those grants are changing all the time. Every grant has its own budget. If this budget is allocated to companies, then of course we have to close this certain funding grant. And always about 2 or 3 grants we open every quarter. So lot of all kind of possibilities to get funding for your innovative project plan. And not only grants we also offer loans and guarantee. A guarantee for the banks if you want to get more additional funding from private banks. We can offer a guarantee for you. And also we offer loans also directly from Enterprise Estonia to your company. Now, those loans are especially designed for supporting your export and production capabilities to boost your production. And I'm going to share some info regarding grants also, but a couple of words. What are the principles of the grants we offer? We don't offer grants for all the activities or for all the sectors. We have chosen five special sectors. We call them focus areas, focus fields, focus topics. As you can see here, digital sector, health, energy, and upcycling, or evaluate resources, and of course, defense. So whatever business plan you have, or product development, or service development plan you have, it should fit at least into one of these focus areas. No, The most popular focus field is digital solutions. No, as they say that all the new innovative products nowadays are somehow digital, IT related. Of course, all the other focus areas are also really, really important, especially defense. And additionally to those focus areas, your project plan has to contribute also to Estonian economy and society. Of course, it's sometimes difficult to understand what does it mean. It's not no detailed or concretely explained what does it mean to benefit to Estonian economy. No, for example, if you hire employees here in Estonia, or you are doing your R&D activities here in Estonia with universities or with other companies, or your solution helps to reduce CO2 emission. So these are the important things or principles we would like to see in your business idea, in your project. So let's move on and let's talk about couple of grants also. Unfortunately, we just had a grant for startup companies, but it was so popular that we don't have any funding there anymore. We had to finish this startup grant a couple of weeks ago. We are not sure, are we able to open it again soon or not? So that's why we don't have a slide for this startup grant today, but it's also really popular, this innovation and development grant you're seeing at the moment. It's not maybe very big, it's up to 35,000 euros. Why it's attractive? As you see that this grant supports up to 80% of your project cost. So it's one of the most attractive grant at the moment. But just to inform you that you can't apply alone for this grant. You have to have a partner, some kind of university or a science development center. This collaboration partner can be wherever, not only in Estonia or EU. This collaboration partner or university can be wherever. So, and to apply for this development grant, it's really easy to qualify for this grant, as the only qualification term is that your company has to be registered in Estonia. And it has to be a small or medium-sized company. It's not meant for the huge global companies. Only thing is that you have to be registered in Estonia and you have to have a collaboration partner wherever in the world. So quite attractive grant. So a couple of more grants. So a bit bigger grant for applied research. Here you can see that it's meant for technology readiness level up to 7. It means that it's mainly meant for testing some kind of new solutions, physical materials, or gather some kind of new knowledge about innovative new technology. And there you also have to find some kind of partner who would help you to do this kind of testing project, some kind of experimental development or feasibility study. And it's up to 2 million euros, this grant. Here you can see that the rate of support is a bit lower than the previous grant I showed you. And here also you don't have any serious qualification demands. You only have to be registered here in Estonia. That's all regarding this grant. And couple of more examples. Also really popular grant now is this product development grant, up to 500,000 euro. But here you can see that you already have to have quite big sales revenue here in Estonia, or in your company which is registered in Estonia. You have to already have 200,000 euros average sales revenue for the last 2 years. So that's not for the startup companies maybe, but maybe it's feasible or suitable also for new companies. And here you can also see that this rate of support is again a bit lower than the previous grants I showed you. Mainly this grant covers all your R&D activities, your labor cost, whatever services you need to purchase or materials or supplies. And this grant is meant for, as you see, technology readiness level is higher. This 9 is the highest technology readiness level. It means that you have to go to the market with the help of this grant. You have to have a market-ready product after you have finished this grant project. So, and one more example of our active grant, which is up to 500,000 again, but there are a bit more rules for qualification. As you see that you already have to have some kind of export revenue. To be more specific, it's 50,000, and you have to have at least 8 employees. And it's also meant for the developing new product or service. And this program is maybe it's a combo from all our other grants, because this development program grants, it covers really a wide variety of your cost. No, you can go to the trade fairs, you can do marketing, you can purchase whatever equipment you need. So it's we call it our top level grant, because it covers lot of different expenses. So we are not only in Estonia. Estonia is a small country, but actually we are able to cover the whole globe, because we have representatives in our top 15 export countries. Here you can see our map. So maybe you can see that we have a couple of participants also from Kenya. We have a representative there. It's our newest country where we opened our representative office, and mainly those employees are there trade experts or export advisors. So you can ask whatever export related questions you have for example, you want to go to the US market with your Estonian company, then we have a really, really good expert advisor in this specific target country. So we can help you with whatever question you have regarding your target market. So maybe that's it. I covered only a couple of grants. As I mentioned, we have tens of different grants. It's not the point to cover all the grants here, as I mentioned, that all the time we have changes in those grants or funding schemes. Some grants we have to close, some new grants will come. So our main message is that just contact us, let's discuss, let's have a personal consultation to see what kind of opportunities we can offer for you, specifically for you. So
Thank you.
here are contacts, and I'm happy to ask questions in this Q&A window.
Yes, thank you. You can finish the sharing of slides. Rando will definitely answer some of your questions in the Q&A as well, because there were a couple of them that were directed to you. But the Q&A for Rando and Rosen will come soon. But now I would like to give the stage for Rosen, who will give his overview of the, ecosystem of grants and support measures as an e-resident. So welcome, Rosen. By the way, you have pretty early morning there. Where are you actual moment?
Hi, Ramo. Hi, everyone. I'm joining you today from Vancouver, Canada, where Canada is hosting for the first time one of the world's largest and most landmark events, the Tech Chill. So it's a great opportunity to network, and I see that many of the participants are also from the western part of North America. So I guess this topic was quite interesting and relevant to many EU residents, so they're here. And I'm going to share a few points. I don't have slides, but happy to help you guys afterwards if you contact me by LinkedIn. For over 15 years, I've been involved in this domain, initially working for the EU. I was the innovation policy advisor of the former president of the European Commission. So at this time, we set up the foundations of the framework programs for research and development that these EU grants fund. So I've been also on the other side, from the governmental side, like Rando in such situations, and of course later on supported companies in acquiring funding through these programs, but also my own company has acquired funding. So first I'll start saying a few words about our own experience as an e-residency company. Of course, when we started the company, it was the COVID time, and you could imagine that opportunities to network with other organizations that are applying for these grants were very limited. There was minimum or no travel, at least in the beginning. So building up all the partnership opportunities, getting into these projects was very limited. And secondly, because of the COVID times, also the access to the regular financial resources, including the sales revenues, was very limited. So many companies were going for grants, and it was very competitive. Now it's also a similar time with the war, because many are growing for these grants. It's a very competitive domain, first, with very low success rates. Perhaps you could always consider other types of funding, including the bank loans and the national grants in Estonia or in the country where you're based in. But for EU funding, it's not only Estonia and the Estonian e-Residency company that could apply, but in most cases, they're not also only open to the EU, but to other places. Like I'm in Canada because many of my clients are Canadian companies, right? So it's also open to Canada. And under these EU programs, like Digital Europe, that's mostly for digital solutions, or Erasmus Plus, which is more for these kind of soft measure exchanges, like building up a common understanding and so on. Or if you go for Horizon Europe, which is the framework program for research and innovation, you have really tons of opportunities. Right now, I just checked before our call, there are over 2,500 calls open where not only Estonian companies, but many more could apply. So first, it's important to keep a regular track on what kind of calls open and which ones are the most suitable ones. And then for those most suitable ones, choose these opportunities that are mostly aligned with your line of business, with your strategy, where you want to go. Because there is everything, and you need to be very picky. And my advice would be also to build up capacity step by step. And initially, if you see some funding call that seems very relevant, do not, I repeat it, do not go for the call as the coordinator of such a big project. Start with a smaller role, just be a partner to get yourself familiarized with the process, to earn some experience doing these kind of grants, and also to build up some kind of network in this domain slowly. Once you get this experience, you could move from the role of just a regular partner into a leader of a specific task, or a leader of a work package. So these are different forms of organizing the work within the project. And then later on, maybe after a few years that you've already gone through all of this, you could go to be a coordinator. So if you see a super relevant call, do not shoot directly at it as the coordinator, because it requires a lot of work to prepare this, to set it up, to find all the partners, but also it requires a lot of expertise when it comes to delivering on the project, the implementation and the reporting. And this is my second piece of advice, because when you go for such grants, you should also be careful. Okay, I've committed on something, I promised that I'll do something in this project, but how am I really going to do it, right? So what are the steps A, B, C, D, especially if I have a tiny team, a small e-residency company, how am I going to do it? How am I going to deliver on it? How am I going to hire people to help me do it? Or am I going to um, do it completely myself as owner of this company, right? This is important because you need to structure your work within this project at the time that this proposal is written, before you even apply for it. Because later on, major changes will not really be possible, or they will be hard to be really handled. And then this is also related to the budget. So how am I going to cover these costs? Am I going to use some contractors for this work? Am I going to use the SME owner category of the costs, which means basically that you pay yourself the salary or the dividend as the owner, right? And these are very important considerations, especially if you're an e-residency company, to start from there, to plan what and how, because this project is then going to run for several years, and you need to be very careful. These projects get reviewed, audited. If you're a partner, also your coordinator in the project will be reviewing you, and then of course the EU. So you need to make sure that everything is set in place. And then, of course, to increase the opportunities of getting into such projects, go to different networking events. I think this event that we have now is a fantastic opportunity. So if you have also some kind of an idea of what you'd like to do within an EU project, I think you could just summarize it within a few lines here and ask for others to contact you. But also there are a large number of events that happen all over Europe. They're called B2B matchmaking events. So if you go to B2B match events, there's such a portal, you could check them out. And within these events, what's really important is that, of course, you could participate in person, and I suggest you to do that. But if you don't have the budget, you could register for them. Most of them are free, and you could interact with the participants online. So you could see all the project ideas there, you could see the people, build up your network, and then eventually, if not for the current calls, then for the all upcoming funding calls, this will all be relevant. In our case, as Phase Growth, we have done all types of grants for ourselves, but also for our clients. For ourselves, we have achieved this in this step-by-step approach. We've also been awarded for the ERMIN project, which is about building a tool for prediction of natural disasters. We've also supported companies to do so great projects that their work gets promoted and recognized by the EU. So they've received different labels, awards, the innovation seal, and so on and so forth. So it's a work that requires a lot of consistency, a lot of cooperation. You should be ready to work on this day by day, and then eventually the results will come, because these grants could cover your activities for several years, and that's really good for a startup, especially considering that EU grants give you also a good amount of down payment, so you don't need to spend everything from your pocket. That's it for now, and happy to take more questions and then answer later on.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosen. A really good insight. I would like to ask a couple of questions by voice right now from Rando and Rosen. There is actually a question maybe for Rando mainly, which was about is there any grant available for prototyping, rapid prototyping and business model validation? Is something available in Estonia?
Yeah, that was the first grant actually I talked about. I can maybe share again this screen, or I can send privately this information for the person who asked that. It was this product and innovation development grant. It's up to 35,000 euros.
So this is possible for that purposes?
Yeah, for developing your prototype, whether it's a physical or a software prototype.
There have been a couple of questions about education and as an industry or as a fact, like topic. Do you know anything about there? Like, is Enterprise Estonia providing any support for educational initiatives or companies dealing with edtech?
If you plan to develop some kind of edtech software solution, that's of course eligible for funding or grants, because as I understand, this person plans to develop some kind of new service or product which is in e-tech sector. That's of course okay for us.
Okay.
And of course, our message is that if you want those more specific answers or discussions with us, just send us an email, info@ais.ee.
Also, maybe I would recommend to contact you EdTech Estonia, which is an umbrella organization of startups that are dealing with EdTech. Maybe there are some good connections that you can make. One thing that's probably good to clarify. So there's a question about, is there actually any grant available for companies that aren't generating revenue yet? Or this is basically a prerequisite of all the grants?
No. As I mentioned, we have several grants for the companies that doesn't yet generate any income or any revenue. Only thing that you have to be registered here in Estonia with your company. The same grant what we just discussed is up to 35,000 euros, this development grant. It doesn't require any existing sales revenue or whatever employees or something like that. Only thing that you have to be registered here in Estonia.
Okay. There was a question, I guess, also for Rando about innovation and development grant. Do you know when it would be open again? Or do you have any idea?
This innovation and development grant is open at the moment. I mentioned this starting a business grant or grant for the startup company. This grant is closed at the moment. But if you plan to develop something with partner, I mean a partner university or other company, then this grant is totally active and open.
Okay, thanks. I have now one quick question also to Rosen, not directly written here as a question, but in general, I understand that's probably something that's good to clarify. Where to start with? Like we're going to have an overview about the tool that helps to match yourself with grant and everything. But as a founder who believes that he or she needs some extra support outside of organization, you said what are probably the mistakes that needs to be avoided. But like where to start to making clear what needs to be done and how to apply successfully at all. Like Rosen, what's your recommendation as a practitioner?
Yeah, well, first there is a registry of all of these calls that, as I said in the speech, it's always good to keep a track on and check regularly for new calls. And I'm putting the link to this in the chat. So this is the ultimate guide, and there, when you find the call using some keywords, you could also see the requirements for this call, the scope, what they're expecting from you. And of course, all the application forms, so you would know what needs to be prepared, what needs to be filled up. On this page, you could also see expressions of interest by different potential partners, some of them coordinators for such projects. And then you could find out from there what kind of ideas they have, network with them. I think what's also important is once you check the scope of what is expected, then you need to do a check with to what extent your idea fits the scope. But also the EU expects innovative, in many cases, cross-cutting, disruptive solutions. So in order to do this, and through this web page, you could go there, you need to check the database of the previously funded projects. So if you want to do something like, to take the example of education, edtech, digital solution, and now there is a lot also on the EU level for this topic, you should check what kind of projects were funded there, right? To understand more or less what kind of projects could be funded, but also think about these projects that have been funded as a starting point that you need to go much further beyond, right? So this will be a benchmark that could help you formulate your idea, checking the cost scope. And then, of course, I think for these kind of projects, the most important part is cooperation and networking. So find the right partners, exchange ideas with them, try to really improve your idea, take feedback from them. I think it's also similar to being a startup and getting the feedback from your customers and then investors. Here you take a lot of feedback from your partners within such a project and try to learn from the successful projects, from the way that they manage things, because this could help you one day to move from this role of a regular partner to eventually becoming the ultimate consortium coordinator. And I'm sure that each of these companies that we have represented today in this webinar will be at this stage in their future development. So this is the free official source, this website. Use it and try to maximize your capabilities, and good luck.
Thanks. Now let's move on with Allan. He is going to give a short overview of easy.ee. That's a tool which probably may be interesting for those e-residents who already have Estonian company and would like to apply for some support.
Yes, hello to everybody. A little bit of background. How did I come to the idea? I'm a startupper myself. I have a robotics company for 8 years and have been applying for 7 different grants, I think. And I tried to write the grant applications myself. I failed. We did it with a scientists in university who do it regularly. We also failed. Then I paid a load of money to the consultants. We failed. Finally, we got 1 grant and 2 smaller ones, but it's really painful process, to be honest. So I got an idea that we should make it somehow easier. And that's why I got a couple of friends and we built this identification portal. So the idea is to simplify the processes, as finding the grants is very time consuming. The applying is a painful process, as I said. The writers, professionals who help you are very expensive. Very few people understand and can allow participation in calls, especially startups, especially companies who are in the beginning of their journey. People have no idea of upcoming grants and where to find, because there are several agencies who offer them, and you have to go to all those pages, read all the information. It takes you maybe even a month to understand which grants are all available and where do you fit. Then the reporting process is quite difficult, I would say, and we are trying to optimize that one too. And the bureaucracy is quite overwhelming there. It's understandable because there is a lot of information and there's a lot of government side involved. So we want to change the world of public funding and make it accessible to nearly everybody. Our site applies several technologies. Mostly it runs on AI. So we search and match the funding opportunities for you. This service is for free, by the way. We are at the same time monitoring all the Estonian and EU fundings and available grants, which ones will open, which ones are closing. We give you an assistance. The AI finds what your company needs to do to be able to apply a specific grant and gives you advice. We just launched a generative AI-based business plan writing tool. So you enter information there about, let's say, 2,000 words about your project, about your company, and it takes 1 minute to generate a business plan, 15 pages. It's a draft, but it's a good tool. For instance, our consultants use it and say that it saves like 2 or 3 days of work for them. I will demonstrate it also. And there's a notification system if a new grant opens up. And we are planning and interfacing with the national application portal, so you can do all the application process from our site. Our clients are, in a nutshell, all companies. It can be startup, it can be a medium-sized company, and also the government agencies, local governments, for instance. So it's a groundbreaking technology that we use. It's very flexible and intelligent. We have also grant writing partners. So once you have selected a grant, either our company will help you to write it with an AI and file it to the government system, or we will turn you to a professional writing company who can do the same work. For instance, Horizon, it's a huge process, and you need a professional writer for that. We have already actually 600 clients now that have entered their projects and searched for the grants. And there is an acute problem that creates inequality, and we are trying to solve it. And of course, we have a very great team. There's a couple of consultants who have been working 20 years with grants and are helping you as a client to apply. So my information is here. You can find me from LinkedIn, or I will enter my email, or you can contact us through the site. And now I will show you how it works. So this is the front page of easy.ee. It's in English, Estonian, and Russian language. So you just click Find Funding here. You create a new project, and here you enter your company name. If you don't have a company, you can also do that, but the result is not so good. The match is not so good because it doesn't know the specifics of the company that it acquires from my Estonian business registry. But I'll show you an example with my robotics company. So you type here Janu, that's my company, continue. If you have a web page, then it would be good because it goes there and acquires more information. If you don't, then it's also fine because you can describe information later. Here you can see that it already found the information, and it offers you a generic project that you can modify, and you should modify, because the more exact your project is and more closely you describe it, the better our results. But let's leave it like this. It's generally what we do. Team, let's write more people here, my own name, and professor of robotics that we work together with, because it gives also better results in the end. So here I save, and now I find the matches. It takes a bit of time. It goes through nearly 700 grants we have. And here you can see already found quite a few matches. The green ones are the ones that should fit perfectly. That means we could go applying straight away. Then there are yellow ones, and that means there's a probable match if you change a couple of things. Let's say you need to find a partner company abroad, or there are few requirements that you have to fill. But I'll show you how the grant looks now. So let's say you decide that you want the development grant. You click it open, and you can see all the information: maximum funding, what's the budget from the government, which agency gives it. Here you can see the reasoning, why is it suitable for you, and you can get the AI recommendations how you can make the project better. Create a better project plan, highlight the alignment with DIE, You have to demonstrate cost effectiveness. So there's a lot of advice that you can do to be eligible for the grant, for that specific grant. And here's also application conditions, expenses that you can use it for, how the evaluation goes on from the government side, what reporting do you need to do, all the information about the grant. Once you have decided that you want to apply for that grant, you can ask for the consultation. Here you can select which project, because you can have several projects, and you can write here, I want a consultation, and then you submit, and our company gets a notification that this person needs a consultation. Consultation comes in a subscription area, so that means you have to pay a little bit of money. For e-residents, we have made a discount, so for you it costs only 14 euros, and for that you get a proper consultation with a professional, 15-30 minutes, where we select you a perfect grant, we explain you how to apply it, we connect you with the writers, we help you through the process. So there's also people involved. And once you have decided that this is the proper grant, you can also create the business plan, as I said. And here you can see it takes about 1 minute. It goes through all the information, goes to your homepage, reviews what you have in mind. You can always enter an additional information to make it better, but you get a proper draft, so to say, that you can fine-tune yourself and then submit for most of the grants. Some require only just a filled-in questionnaire or a simple paper to submit. But here you can see the final business plan, and it's quite comprehensive, I would say. Altogether 14-15 pages that you can fine-tune yourself. So this is mostly what I wanted to speak today, and I'm happy to take questions from you and answer your whatever ideas you might have regarding it. So thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks. We'll come back to the Q&A shortly, but now we have our last presenter, Sandra. There have been already a couple of questions related to EU grants, and she will give you a short overview of some of them, mainly Horizon. But you can definitely hear more soon. So, Sandra, stage is yours.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the support. And today I'm going to just speak on behalf of our international cooperation unit. So I am not the only person responsible for Horizon Europe. So please to keep that in mind, and I will continue and introduce you our team. So when it comes to Horizon Europe, we do have somebody who is in Brussels, does a lot of lobby work and protects the company's interest in Brussels. So her name is Eva Berenson. Then there's me, who is responsible for Eureka. I will go more in depth about Eureka a bit later on. And then there's Annalisa Laritz, who is responsible for EIC Accelerator. And then there's Dio Dreyer, who is responsible for EU ecosystems and Digital Europe. So what you do need to know, there was one question that came up about Pillar 2. Enterprise Estonia is not active in Pillar 2. For Pillar 2, you do have to go and speak to Estonian Research Council, because they have the proper contact person available to help you and your business. We are in Pillar 3, which is, as you can see, European Innovation Council, European Innovation Ecosystems, and European Institute of Innovation and Technology. These are all the things that I previously mentioned that we are responsible. So Eureka and EIC Accelerator. So this is to kind of keep it in shortly. And to just go over slightly, I'm not responsible for EIC Accelerator, but this is kind of the Olympics of EU grants. This is where you can go with your individual project and then get funded. It has to be high intense innovation that you're doing. And in EIC Accelerator, European Commission gives you a grant, which is up to 2.5 million euros. And then you will get investment, the investment component as well, which is up to 10 million euros. So this is something that is called blended financing. So it's not just European Commission grant, there's a pool of investors as well that invest into the companies. So in order to get financed, you have to have self-financing as well available. And the target group for this is usually SMEs, startups, mid-caps, and this is in shortly who this is targeted to. Application process is quite intense because, as I said, it's the Olympics of grants in Europe. So you have to prepare at least a year and a half in advance. You might fail the first time, and it's fine. You will probably fail the first time. So you will get expert advice, which is extremely important for your business development as well. And these are the steps that you have to take in EIC Accelerator. So first of all, you write a short proposal, then you prepare a full proposal, then you pitch your innovation, and then you negotiate the grant component and start due diligence for investment component. So this is shortly EIC Accelerator, which is individual grant that you will get for your own project. Then we have Eureka, which I'm responsible. It's a network. I have 3 programs under Eureka, and this is R&D and collaboration projects. So this is the Olympics of, I would say, teamwork. So this is teamwork. You do one project in a team. So we are active in ITEA cluster, which is the software cluster. So this is connected to all of the companies that do software development. Then there's Eurostars, which is bottom-up approach, meaning that we do not have any specific thematics, so-called. So basically, it has to be a development project. And then there's Innovate, which is for you to search for new markets. So it's a short-term project. You can hire somebody who is local, who does your market research. So these are in shortly the opportunities on EU level. What that entails, like when it comes to, for an example, the amount of funding you will get, then it's up to 300,000 for Eurostars or ITEA projects. We will cover around 50 to 60% of the costs. So your self-financing is around 40% to 60%. We do have to individually look at your companies to make a decision what is exactly the self-financing percentage. But this is kind of to keep it in short. I have to do some kind of generalization currently. So how this works is, for an example, you have a partner in Finland and you are here, an Estonian company. You will get funding for your collaboration project, which is one project, from both sides. So your partner gets funding for their development and you get funding for your own development here. So this is how this module works. So these are like consortia projects. And in shortly, what we do in Brussels, as I said as well, it's for us to keep in contact with EU institutions. We kind of do some lobby works. We represent the interest of our companies. We keep tight connections with our colleagues from other partnering organizations. So we work together with EU institutions, ESMEA, European Innovation Council. We explicitly want to help companies grow internationally. This is what we do. So we try to do that through EU level networks, key people, partners, and just in general representation of the companies. And we do conduct study trips as well in order to facilitate collaborations. And thank you for listening. This is shortly EU funding, Horizon Europe. I hope it was understandable. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments. Thank you.
Yes, we have a couple of questions. I think one for Alan related to reporting. So you help with applying. What about help with reporting or making the, whatever you need to represent after the project has been done?
Yes, reporting is actually one of the worst headaches there, but we don't have that yet done because we started the company, January. So 4 months it has been online, but we're updating, adding new functionality all the time. Reporting hopefully comes in the end of the year, but it all depends on the grants. I mean, there's hundreds of different grants. The system where you report is kind of the same actually, but what you need to report is different in most of the grants, more or less. So we try to automate that too. Of course, the human work there needs to be done beforehand. I mean, you have to collect the invoices, you have to write the reports or give at least to the AI some input or information. But AI can fasten the process a lot, writing the reports on your given short information, all that. So yes, we are working on that.
Thank you. Then there's a question, what could be potentially answered either by Sandra or by Rando, is that are there any grants specifically for obtaining patents?
Yes. Again, I repeat myself, it's the first grant I talked about, this development grant. It's also supported to apply for IP protection or consultation from this grant. So yes, we do have, it's up to 35,000.
Can I maybe comment on the last question as well,
Yes.
like about the reporting? I would say that I actually encourage people that it's not that difficult, the reporting. So it's not that difficult. It's like we try to make it more easier year by year. So it's not that difficult. It's not that scary. And I do advise everybody to consult us, because what I do see as somebody who's responsible for a program, e-residents, companies who are e-residents do not keep tight contacts with us. I do advise you to do it because we want everybody to be successful, and you do need to get information about our national regulations and so on. So please do keep us close, and please do contact us through info@ace.ee. So we are available and at all times.
And I can maybe add from my side also that it's not very painful to apply for a grant. If you have any questions, we are here to help you.
Thanks.
I lost my question.
That was actually, Rosen wants to add something.
Maybe just about the patents in EU funding. It's not exclusively for patents that you could get funding, but all the costs regarding the patenting, all the patent research, then the patent applications, the legal costs, and so on that you have, they are eligible costs. And there is also something very nice called intellectual property help desk. this is a free service of the EU where you have their top lawyers, law companies that have created a lot of templates for you about patents, protection of intellectual property. And also you could send them, of course, non-binding, but still they give you free advice in case you have some doubts about this.
So maybe another question to you, Rosen, that was asked is how to reach out to university or local partners for partnership and innovation?
Yeah, any tips you can give?
First, they will disregard your email if you just write to them, hey, I want to work with you on EU project. You should send them a very specific idea. What is the idea? Which calls you're planning to go with? If you already have some partners, and maybe more specifically, ask them what exactly they should do in this project, right? So what is the specific role that you want to assign to them? And then, of course, this should reach out to the right people. So if you send it to a university, don't send it to the general email of the university where also all the student applicants go, but find the right professors, researchers there. This could fast track the process. I think it's also good before you contact them to do some homework, finding the right calls, write a short list with suggestions for them. Also find previous projects, and normally the way to also find partners and your initial point of contact for these projects is by checking into the free database that I referred you to, or Cordis, another one, CORDIS, and then from there you see all the projects with the contacts, and then it all works. But you should have a very specific request to them.
Okay, we need to wrap up soon. So like two short questions. There have been several questions related to defense fund and defense funding. Rando, can you give some ideas on that? Defense tech companies, for example.
Yeah, we just recently, a couple of weeks ago, opened a new grant, especially for defense sector. It's up to 500,000 euros. Maybe I can share the screen. I can show you this web page info also. Unfortunately, it's only in Estonian language. So I don't know at the moment how to share my screen.
No, it's okay. Maybe we can add it later as well.
I would add that quite a lot of grants have dual use allowed. So if you are not just doing military development, then a lot of grants have dual use available. So you have to again contact us. We will see what grants are available. For an example, grants under me, Eurostars enables dual use projects as well.
Maybe one more important message regarding grants, that you don't need to know what kind of grant is the best grant for you. Just contact us, send your request or email info@ais.de. Let's discuss. Let's go into details, and we will find you the best grant or best solution for you.
Rosan wants to add also something to that.
Yeah, there is a specific EU program about defense. This is the European Defense Fund that is, as the name says, particularly for this domain. And for that, you need to work closely with the Estonian military and get the letter of intent, the internal pre-approval of such an idea. So this is also similar to the advice that was given earlier by the colleagues here from the Estonian government, to be in contact with them, and they could also put you in touch with the the people in the Estonian defense in charge of it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I'm going to just maybe clarify that Estonia has a different agency for defense sector. So ACE actually doesn't have a lot of defense funding available. We currently have some funds that are allocated to defense, but mainly it's operated in another agency. But we do have contacts, so if you speak to us, we can still share information.
Can you also share the name of the agency that is dealing with defense funding?
I only know it in Estonia currently.
It's actually it's a Ministry of Defense directly. Yeah.
Okay. So it's time to wrap up. There have been also several questions related to angel investments, also how to get an access to Estonian startup ecosystem. For that, we recommend to visit Startup Estonia website. There you get a lot of information about who are the players in Estonian startup ecosystem, including VCs, angels, as well as how to apply for startup visa. So these are the options to learn more. Thank you all the panelists for participating, and thank you for your patience for staying with us the whole time. It was a long webinar. There are still a couple of unanswered questions. We tried to give them after the webinar in the written form. But what happens next is that please do give us a feedback. You will get an email from us soon about the feedback survey. Also, join our social media channels and the newsletter if you haven't done it yet. And of course, learn more. As those kind people in the webinar said, you can always write to Enterprise Estonia. Check out easy.the website, as well as contact Rosen for more information. From this slide here, behind the QR code, you can already see the slides of today's webinar, but no worries, you get the follow-up email with the slides, and also the recording will be available in our YouTube channel soon. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the panelists. See you soon in June, where we are going to have a webinar in German, and in July again we're going to have a general webinar about e-Residency. Have a nice day.
Bye.